Hello, everybody. Welcome to our video again, and I hope you are enjoying the month of November, which is one of my favorite times of year, no doubt.
So today we are going to be doing our wrap up video for serious issues in the media. Um, we have been doing this series for a couple of months. I have personally been doing it on my Instagram since February, but we started doing it together in July or August. So we've been doing it for about 5 months. So today we are going to talk about the following serious issues: climate change, death, grief, and mortality, and depression, and moving on and transitions. Um, First, we're going to talk about Wally. What did you think about Wally?
It was the very first time that I ever saw the movie, and based on what the plot looked like and taking place in almost the next millennia, it really gave us an idea of what possibly could happen if we humans don't take care of our planet. And then you cut to from robots to people who are the remaining living species on uh, in outer space. So it was a little bit odd, but it dealt with some issues that we can both relate to.
So the other two things that we have watched that talk about climate change are The Muppet Show and what was the other one? Didn't we watch another thing that talked about climate change too?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I thought we did. Okay. Um, no, I think we did. So we rated Wally a uh B minus. And Matt Pat came up with a fan theory about Wally being Satan, and we reviewed his video for this uh we reviewed this video for our video as part of our research. And do we agree with his theory?
Yes, we actually did.
Why do we agree with his theory?
Because where we see on the planet Earth, it's where we find it almost uninhabitable. And then when the humans come back to Earth at the very end with Wally's help, then it's almost like they plant a seed for a new generation. And that is related to the transition of when we hear about Adam and Eve.
The other movie that talks about climate change is Cars 2.
That's right, because the cars that are in that movie is based on the carbon emissions.
Right. And carbon emissions is the one thing we're trying to cut down on to save the planet. What else can we do to save the planet?
We talked about this before, but to save the planet, not only we have to reduce carbon emissions, and one way to do it is go green on the cars and make them electric. But another thing we most definitely should do is don't throw out stuff on the ground that could be classified as litter, because we do have fees and fines for doing that nowadays.
The next topic we're going to discuss today is death, grief, and mortality. The movie that we watched to talk about this topic was Coco, which is based on the Mexican holiday Day of the Dead. Um, what did we give Coco for a rating?
We gave that movie an A minus.
The reasons we gave Coco an A minus was because of the scenery in the land of the dead, because of the song Remember Me, which is our favorite song, and because of the relatability factor of the main character Miguel having a grandparent with dementia. Because
It's actually his great grandparent.
his, well, the reason why we relate to Miguel's character is because we have both had relatives, our grandparents die of dementia also. um and we also wanted to talk about how we honor family members or celebrities who have passed away. The first thing that I wanted to say is writing something to honor them. whether it be like a eulogy to read at a funeral that shares your memories, or a story or a poem. Like in the past, when I've gone to when I've when people have passed away, I have written poems to memorialize them. Recently, as people have heard, Matthew Perry from Friends passed away after drowning in his hot tub, and I am working on a fan fiction right now to memorialize him, which is basically a self-insert fan fiction story where my character has like kind of like an aunt and uncle a niece and uncle relationship with Chandler, and it's basically how my character reacts to events of certain episodes of seasons 2 to 10 in Friends, starting with the one where Heckles dies. Let's just say that his anxiety attack in that episode definitely hits different now that he's dead, because he freaks out about dying alone, and sadly he did die alone, which is very tragic and sad. So it starts off with the one where Heckles dies, and it ends with the last one where they're all leaving the apartment to move on to new things. um the
And
next thing
and
is
also, I should also mention that I like to do some writing on fiction myself, and I'm currently working on one where I can relate to my late father's when he passed away some years ago.
another way to memorialize family members or celebrities who have passed away is wearing a piece of clothing in a color or style that they used to wear, or a piece of jewelry. Like, I don't know if you can see my ring, but this ring used to be my grandmother's.
And I'm wearing a ring too. This one that used to be my father's. The day he died, my mother took it off, and then it was resurfaced and it got put on my finger the day that Jean and I had a big commitment ceremony.
And another piece of clothing I honor to wear, um to I wear to honor a dead family member, is my leopard print sweater, and that is in honor of my Nana Barbara, who passed away from dementia in 2021.
And I have a collection of long sleeve shirts and sweaters, a couple alpaca that are memory of my father, which he used to wear also.
The third thing we do to honor family members or celebrities that have passed away is listen to a song in the person's memory. Um, Give an example of a song.
Okay, for instance, in addition to Matthew Perry dying, we also lost one of my very favorite artists, Jimmy Buffett, this past summer. He died of complications to heart, but he left behind something that we parrot heads really cherish for a long time. I've been listening to Jimmy Buffett music since I was about maybe 6, 7, 8 years old, but I still can remember when I did a vaudeville act in 8th grade in middle school. I sang one of his best known titles, Cheeseburger in Paradise. My friends back in my old hometown still remember this to this day.
Another singer who died this year was Harry Belafonte, who is known for the song, the Banana Boat song, that's in the movie Beetlejuice when they're dancing in the dining room. So that is always a fun song to sing at karaoke. Um, the third,
The fourth.
the fourth thing that we do in honor to honor family members or celebrities who have died is cooking a favorite recipe that we used to know from when the person was alive. Like, for example, one popular recipe that my family used to likes to make in honor of my Nana Rose, who passed away in 2014 of Alzheimer's disease, is her butterhorn cookies. And tonight we are making a recipe from the Friends cookbook in honor of Matthew Perry. And let me show you the page of the recipe that we're gonna make. It's right here. It's from the episode, the one with all the kissing, and it's the fried chicken recipe that Monica and Chandler eat in the bathtub. Now, we're not gonna fry the chicken. We're gonna bake it in the oven because we're trying to lose weight.
So if you are interested in cooking something like that fried chicken, take Jane's advice and take my advice. You don't have to use canola oil to fry in the pan. You can use a substitute like sunflower oil. And yes, I would definitely bake it and buy some coated mix like shake and bake in the supermarket. That tastes just as good.
The next thing we do is sing a song by a singer that has passed away, like Matt just mentioned, Jimmy Buffett songs. I just mentioned the Banana Boat song by Harry Belafonte. The last time I was at karaoke prior to the passing away of Matthew Perry, I sang um Joy to the World by Three Dog Night, which is from the episode of Friends where they all go to Mike's piano karaoke bar, and Chandler sang that song. And I think when I go to karaoke on Saturday, I am going to sing that song again in honor of him. And the last way to honor a, a celebrity who passes away is by watching a movie with them in it. Like, for example, Fools Rush In with Matthew Perry and Salma Hayek, which is our top favorite movie with Matthew Perry in it.
And another way to enjoy entertainment is watch television shows based on the characters. Like, for instance, we could still watch Friends when it airs on Nick at Night uh, on at 9 o'clock, starting that time. But another way I like to keep it in touch is Bob Barker, who passed away at age 99, and the Pluto TV and Roku airs their very own channel, Barker Era Price is Right. So they're doing it right now from the early mid 1980s, back when Bob still had the dark hair before it went gray. So, if any fans have never seen them and are known for the Drew Carey watching that right now, give it a give it a shot, and you'll notice the difference between crowd levels, the youth, and what some of the pricing games were like even back then. That aren't played anymore.
So the next movie we're going to discuss is the next topic we're discussing is depression. And the movie that we're focusing on today is Frozen 2, which we just watched last night. So Frozen 2 is about Anna and Elsa and Kristoff and Sven and Olaf all going to the Enchanted Forest to find out what really happened to Anna and Elsa's parents when they died. And this actually can fit into the topic of death and grief and mortality also. Um so how Frozen 2 fits into depression is because um Anna is really depressed in one scene where she gets shut out by Elsa again when they're trying to travel to go find what led to their parents dying, to go to Auntie Holland. And she sings the song The Next Right Thing, which is a beautiful song. It was beautifully sung by Kristen Bell. I love this song, and during COVID-19 I was able to relate the most to it because I had a hard time when I was isolated during COVID-19 because I was away from all my friends, and talking to them over Zoom was not the same as seeing them in person, and I really missed being in plays a lot. Um
And when I was doing with a bout of depression, it was really a sickness that I was having inside. So depression is just not just emotions; it can really be inside you, and that eventually led to me going on the citalopram, which I still use to this day to prevent depression.
Maybe we shouldn't talk about our medications though, because that's kind of private. So, oh, one thing I forgot to get was the program for Spamalot, so we can talk about that too. Let me go grab that really quickly.
While Janine gets her program, I just want to apologize and say that if you ever come down with a bout of depression, get some help, either from your family or friends. And if it's still affecting you, find a doctor and they'll find that a cure that's right for you.
Medication does help also, but I don't think it's appropriate on this video to talk about what kind of medications that we take because that is something that we should keep to ourselves. So, um, on Sunday, Matt's mother took us to see Spamalot at Kennybunk High School. We have previously seen Spamalot at Actor Singers in 2017 before we moved up here. So we were very happy to be able to see this show again because it's one of our favorite musicals. Uh, my dream role in this musical is probably either Not Dead Fred or Lady of the Lake. Lady of the Lake. Um, so who were your favorite characters in?
I definitely like the main character in addition to Lady of the Lake.
So my top favorite characters are Not Dead Fred, Timney Enchant, Not Dead Fred, who is played by Adrian Parent, Timney Enchanter, who is played by Caven Eon, Lady of the Lake, who is played by Erin McNeely, Sir Lancelot, who is played by Cassie Murphy, Sir Robin, who is played by Quinn Downing, and the head minstrel, who is played by Ava Hackley. What are your favorite songs from Spamalot?
I especially like the duet between the Lady of the Lake and Richard, but also I like Always Look on the Bright Side of Life.
My favorite songs are "You Won't Succeed on Broadway," "Always Look on the Bright Side of Life," and the song that goes like this. So the next theater show we are going to be reviewing is the Nutcracker by the Portland Ballet. So we're very excited to see this. We're also hoping to go back to see another show at Kennybunk High School. Their winter concert is coming up on December 8th, and their other winter concert is on January 9th, though we haven't made a decision on if we are going to go yet, but we are hoping to. It just depends on our schedule. So, our last topic we're going to discuss for this video today is moving on and transitions. So the one episode of Friends I wanted to mention was the finale. We didn't talk about Friends as much as we did in the last couple of videos because what we have realized is that a lot of people tend to skip over that commentary, so we decided to not talk about that show as much this time. And I think the people who have made comments to me about not really liking Friends that much will appreciate the fact that we're not talking about it as much. So the last one is the finale of Friends, which aired May 18th, 2004. And it was the last episode of Friends where Rachel is leaving to go to Paris and says goodbye to everybody. Chandler and Monica are moving to Westchester to raise their family. Phoebe and Mike, actually, you never know where they're going, but I think they move into their own house too. And then Joey, which is so sad, after they all get coffee at the end, I suspected that he went back to the apartment above Central Perk by himself. But he did get his own spin-off show, which is, in my opinion, is not that great. So, I have not made it to season 10 in my rewatch of Friendship, but when I originally saw it, I gave it an A minus. So the next thing we're going to talk about is The Muppet Show.
Now, The Muppet Show first aired on the CBS network in 1976, and it really introduced some of the well known Muppet characters besides Kermit the Frog, such as Miss Piggy, Gonzo, Fozzie Bear, the Electric Mayhem Band, and others. But one particular episode in the subject of transitioning is during the episode number 10 with guest star Harvey Korman.
Excuse me.
The finale was Robin the Frog, who was Kermit's nephew, sitting down halfway on the stairs, really describing why he didn't want to go up or down. So it's a very sweet number, and it's a good memory of former Muppeteer Jerry Nelson, as well as Jim Henson, who was Kermit the Frog. So it was a very sweet number, and also Harvey Korman, by the way, was best well known with his comedy act on the Carol Burnett Show.
Um, why did you find halfway down the stairs to be relatable to us?
Because, Janine, when we were transitioning from moving from one apartment in New Hampshire to up here in Maine, I was really ready to move on and make new friends and start a new life. And I have really enjoyed the state of Maine all my life. So it's great to be a permanent resident here. And I just like it the way life should be.
So for me, I mean, I had a rough adjustment to moving here because I had to leave all my friends behind. I had to leave the theater groups I was in. I had to leave my job at the Plus company. So that was hard. Right now I am doing volunteer work at the Boys and Girls Club. I am doing a writing group uh at the Panera Bread with you and Kate. Uh, I have we have reconnected with our friends from college, and my other friend from college who lives a couple of towns over from us, Erica. She has reached out to me about getting together, so I have to get in touch with her again. Erica, if you're watching this video, we need to connect soon. Um, and also, we still keep in touch with our friends from New Hampshire and go down once or twice a month to see them. Like, for example, this weekend is our friend Sean's birthday, so we're celebrating his birthday at Tavern on the Square, and then going to our favorite karaoke place, the Nan King, and singing karaoke and having cake. Um, uh, and to end this video, the last thing we're going to talk about is the future of our blog for reviewing entertainment. This blog used to be called Theater is My Life, but technically it can't be called that anymore because we don't just talk about theater. We talk about movies, we talk about TV shows, we talk about theater, we talk about ballet. So we can't really call this a theater blog anymore. Um so as people know, if you watched my video where I share my thoughts about Matthew Perry passing away, I mentioned that I have spent a lot of time in the background over the summer dealing with hackers who are pretending to be Matthew Perry. And weirdly enough, yesterday I was contacted by another hacker, which I found strange because Matthew Perry died 2 weeks ago, and you would think these hackers would stop doing what they're doing, pretending to be Matthew Perry, but obviously they are not. And they're probably trying to profit off his death. I deleted the friend's request, by the way. But anyway, so Matt and I have been discussing continuing this entertainment blog based on what has been happening with all the hackers. And we have decided after 15 years to kind of step back on our presence from social media and posting videos on YouTube because of what I have been dealing with the hackers. As far as moving on in transitions, we're not going to be posting as much for um doing videos. We're probably going to be, how many videos do you think we'll be doing a month?
I would like to do maybe one every 1 or 2 months.
So by that, what we mean is we review, instead of doing multiple videos while we review TV shows like this, we're just going to be reviewing different types of entertainment in one blog, or maybe if we see multiple plays over the course of a month or two, we're going to review all the plays together. And the same thing with movies. Um, because we need to focus more on doing stuff off of the internet, such as exercising or going to other activities besides movies and plays, and expanding our introduction to other activities we can do around our new place where we live, which we cannot say because of safety. So we would like to extend a thank you to all of our followers of the blog. I started this blog in 2008 when I got my internship at the Milford Cabinet, writing articles about the Milford area players and Riverbend Youth Company plays. And now in 2023, like, I was not doing as many posts for the past couple of years because of COVID-19. We kind of expanded our knowledge a little bit, and instead of just reviewing plays and movies and books, we also reviewed recipes from a Broadway cookbook that I had. We did that for a couple of um videos. We have been reviewing recipes from this friend's cookbook on Instagram since um since April. And I also wanted to take time, a brief second, to thank my friend Anna at Anna's Drawing Channel for collaborating with me on our book review videos. Our latest book review video will be out next Thursday, hopefully. We will be reviewing Lessons in Chemistry and Love Theoretically. I'm not sure if we're going to be continue to reviewing books after the holidays, but we're taking a break in December because of Christmas. So, thank you, Anna, for collaborating with me. It has been really fun to work with you, and thank you all for watching our videos and supporting us.
And thank you, Janine, for letting me in on it.
Oh, you're welcome.